Hi everyone, this is Dan from Valhalla Games. So a bit of a quick hobby update. What's on my workbench? So first of all, zooming out, I can share with you the progress on my Brit Paras. So as you know, if you listen to the podcast, the last episode, so we've got a D-Day event coming up at the Christchurch Wargaming Club here in New Zealand. Tony Ormandy has done a great job of organising who's taking what. I'm in charge of the British Airborne. So we've got very prescribed army lists to suit scenario, of which I have no objections. If a man's going to invest that much time in it, then well done, and I really enjoy the historical aspect he's put into it. So he's decided on the forces, and I needed some more riflemen for my sections. So concentrating on those, I managed to therefore find an excuse to get out my lovely artisan ad hoc paratrooper section or airborne section, which are fantastic figures. As always with the artisan stuff, it's a little bit sort of more caricature than some sculpts, but beautiful sculpts, loads of character in them. I also enjoy the fact that they have got some models that have got helmets on that don't have cam nets on them. So that spurred me into thinking, well, I've got some British Airborne guys that have got parachutes on the ground that I got from First Corps Miniatures. Do I want to paint this section or a couple of sections in, base them up with tufts and so on and so forth, so they look more in the field, etc. Maybe even a bit more arid, so that I could hedge my bets between Europe and also Tunisia, where the steel helmets without cam nets on top were much more prevalent. However, I just decided that I really needed to keep the army coherency for my own sanity more than anything else. So as you can see on the bases, I have continued with the theme, the market garden theme that I had, good for any sort of urban operation. Below them you can see that I have also modelled up some more of the plastic warlord miniatures as well. And spent a bit of time on some of the poses there, as usual. All the stuff's lovely. I always think this guy's face is the Sergeant Major from A Bridge Too Far, when the chap from the South Staffordshires picks up the container and starts running with it back to the perimeter at Hardenstone Hotel. He goes, "Run, laddie, run!" Yeah, I always think it's that guy. Don't know if they modelled it deliberately, but maybe my imagination's getting carried away from me. But it's always nice to think about. Adds character to the models. So again, gone with my technique of putting the cobblestone down first, and then putting bricks on top, and then the rubble, the debris all around it. You don't need to have the coloured bricks, because, well, unless you want to have them that colour to start with, but somewhere I've got my grey ones that I used before. I'd like to keep more of these red ones for actually just scattered terrain for our games, but not being able to put my hand on the box at the time, they got grabbed up and used. I'm quite happy with this Bren gun. I'm not particularly fond of using the pill bases. However, due to the length of the model, I found that it just wasn't going to work for a 40mm base. So I based them up, and I have used, sorry team, as I move my hand around in a crazy way. There we go, managed to get myself free from the strap on the video cam. So I've used the short sleeve arms in the 8th Army, well actually British Commonwealth in this instance pack, but they're exactly the same pieces. And put it on there. I've kept them in sort of assault order, no webbing. Sorry, webbing, but no pack. And the reason for that is I just wanted him to look as if he was sort of overheating or whatever. He'd pushed his sleeves up on his smock. He's obviously had one of the patterns of the Paris smock that didn't have the cuffs built into it. And just to make life easier, he's pushed his sleeve up. I've also given him a loader here with a little bit of character to him. And again, I've taken the hand from one of the arms in the 8th Army box sprues, cut it off and put it onto an arm with a smock on it. I'm passing over the next Bren gun mag. He's got his one of his pouches of the loader has been taken off and put onto the base there, as was the sort of drill advised, so they could be easily access. As well as that, knocked up a couple of other Bren gun assistants, just simply by adding the or loaders rather, simply by adding the barrel bag to the pack on the webbing of a couple of the ad hoc airborne men. And just because I'm painting stuff up, I've got the Warlord medic model and the Sten gunners from that ad hoc section there as well. I'm going to do everything, I do everything at once. So that is the progress on the Paris. I have done some other stuff. So as you know already, I have been prepping for the big game hunting scenario that one day I want to play with Rex. Rex has also taken that recipe which I've given him, and he's putting that to good use, painting his King Tiger. But as I said a few months ago, just looking into starting the Soviets. So I've started with the T-34 85s from that scenario. So I've just got them knocked up, assembled, and yeah, about to go downstairs this afternoon and start spray painting some primer and some base coats on them. With the Airborne, I'm just going to go a nice dark brown. Good for a base coat for the uniforms as well as the skin and the bases, the cobblestones as well, consistent with the rest of my army. And the T-34 85 is going straight into sort of the olive colour. That's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for tuning in. Sorry you got some wacky camera angles and some shake there at one stage. But I hope you enjoyed catching up on what are we doing. Look at valhallagames.net, www.valhallagames.net. You can see Rex's hobby progress there too. He's done some awesome progress on his reasonable hobby goal for this month. So go and check it out, and yeah, you'll be caught up to where we're at. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.